All right, everybody, happening today. Right now, a pair of high-stakes negotiations is underway in Geneva, Switzerland. The U.S. is trying to hammer out a nuclear deal with Iran and overseeing a new round of talks to try ending the war in Ukraine. NewsNation Washington correspondent Hannah Brandt has more from the White House. Hannah, we're told the Iran talks just wrapped up. What do we know in terms of concessions by Iran made today?
Markie, good morning. That's right. According to Iran's state-run news agency, those talks wrapped up after about 3 hours and 30 minutes, so pretty lengthy discussions. And before the talks, Iran this morning announced it's going to allow International Atomic Energy Agency to visit its nuclear facilities and assess what's happening there, which is certainly a step in the right direction from the perspective of the Trump administration, who's hoping that all of these talks are going to lead to a deal with Iran. Now, U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner led those negotiations today in Geneva. President Trump has said he's also going to be indirectly involved in all of these negotiations. The president already signaling some optimism that these talks will go better than they did last summer. Remember, those discussions did end with strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities.
We could have had a deal instead of sending the B-2s in to knock out their nuclear potential, and we had to send the B-2s. I hope they're going to be more reasonable. I don't think they want the consequences of not making a deal. They want to make a deal.
There are several signs of potential hurdles, though. Iran's foreign minister writing in a post ahead of the talks that's what is not on the table is submission before threats. And today and yesterday, Iranian state TV reporting that the country's forces were conducting naval drills in the Strait of Hormuz. That's a key oil trading route. Even reporting today that they had decided to close that strait for a few hours while they conduct those drills. Meanwhile, the U.S. is ramping up its military presence, reportedly even preparing for a sustained weeks-long operation in Iran. Now, Iran and its leaders have also warned that if the U.S. strikes, it'll counterstrike, potentially on U.S. military bases in the region. Iran's supreme leader posting a series of threats today about that, suggesting they may even decide to strike the U.S. warships that are positioned off the coast of Iran, Markie.
We'll see what more we hear just came from those meetings this morning. And also, Hannah, before I let you go, how far apart are Ukraine and Russia going into trilateral talks today?
Well, there are certainly some disagreements heading into those talks. According to Russian officials, those talks have just gotten underway today, also happening in Geneva. President Trump warned last night that he wants to see Ukraine come to the table fast. And Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky also talking about the disagreements right now, saying U.S. negotiators want Ukraine to agree to give up territory before committing to security guarantees. Zelensky argues, though, those security guarantees should come first before Ukraine makes any compromises regarding territory. Zelensky also, meanwhile, is calling for the U.S. to impose some stronger sanctions on Russia, particularly its energy sector. Zelensky did meet with U.S. senators over the weekend. He said many of them expressed support for more sanctions. Markie?
Hannah Brandt live at the White House for us this morning. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.